To some people, the Tampa neighborhood of Sulphur Springs is a neglected area they simply drive past on I-275. But in the late 1800s and early 1900s, before Disney, it was one of Florida's premier tourist destinations.
It started out as this kind of humble swimming hole where the water supposedly had these healing properties, and then a developer came in, kind of recognized the potential of it, and developed it into this bigger destination.
That history is now on display at the Sulphur Springs Museum and Heritage Center's new facility. Vivian Gornick and fellow USF Anthropology student Preston Lafage curated an exhibit looking at the early, heady days of Sulphur Springs.
Now it's kind of associated with all these negative things, so having a space where we can talk about the history, which was actually really sort of dynamic and interesting, is a good space.
The Museum and Heritage Center is also one of 6 Florida locations chosen to serve as a temporary home for Waterways, an exhibition designed by the Smithsonian Institution.
It's basically about water in all its aspects, environmental, cultural, historical, spiritual.
By focusing on water, the museum aims to show how important the springs were to the area and how damaging them had a lasting effect.
It was a place to swim and entertainment for families, and once it became polluted, then it was closed.
It shows, I think, people in any community that that heritage, history, natural history, the environment is theirs and doesn't just belong to the rich, it belongs to everybody.
The Sulphur Springs Museum and Heritage Center is entirely funded by private donations. It was started in part by Robinson and her husband James, who hope that local residents, particularly young people, will embrace the museum and use it to make Sulphur Springs strong again.
We want them to be proud of the community in which they live, and also to help take care of the heritage and to help it grow.
For University Beat, I'm Mark Schreiner.
For more information on this University Beat or to view previous segments, log on to WUSF.org and click on the University Beat link.